12,685 pounds, triple slide, couples, singles camp and fifth wheel, as it were, landed down here at Advantage One RV Brokers of Coldwater, Michigan, the consignments division of Haylett RV. We're selling this on behalf of the owner. He gave us a call, said, I got this big, beautiful fifth wheel. It's sat in my barn. I don't take it out. I'm not using it. We said, bring it down here. We'll find a home for it. And folks, we can do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, RV delivery, and everything in between for you. And overall, it really shows that it didn't get used a whole heck of a lot. Now, I can see a couple, I'm going to show you a couple of like little blemishes on the furniture so that, you know, I'm not just making stuff up as I go along here, but I've seen tens of thousands of RVs in my roughly dozen years of doing this now, and I'm pretty good at trying to figure out what might be a problem and what isn't, and I don't see any problems here. I see an RV that was not used a lot, that was well maintained, that was not abused. And those are all pretty good things. Starting over here at the entertainment center, of course, electric heating little fireplace down below to take the nip out of the air, and a cool little kind of hidden desk station. If you want to turn this into something of a work camper, you could easily convert that into an office space. Now, I don't know what used to be there initially, but I took one look at that and said, that's not the original TV. I don't know why it's not the original TV. I know that it is a nice Samsung that fills up every, you know, side-to-side inch of that thing it possibly could, but I know it's not the original TV. I guess at the end of the day, I don't really care. There's a nice screen in there for you. And again, it kind of shows that the previous owner would take care of things as they needed. Kind of taking a page out of Jayco's book. You see little shades of Jayco's, like, you know, Pinnacles and Montanas all kind of splashed around inside one of these. There's a flip-up kind of storage trunk footrest ottoman thing right there, which is actually, if you have a bunch of people over playing cards, you can slide it over by the dining table and have a cool little card station. Tri-fold sleeper sofa on the rear wall there, and you're going to see tons of windows on this thing, and they all open up for some pretty awesome airflow. Good storage above that, too. And similarly, good storage above the theater seating. Absolutely all the credit in the world to them there. Seems like more and more manufacturers are sacrificing storage for bigger windows, and I get it. Like that window over there, it looks awesome. It looks absolutely terrific, but there's only so many places you can get storage, and I get spooked when I see too much of it getting lost. Dual manual recline theater seating. This is built before the, you know, power massage heating kind of thing sort of took place over here. Neat little glass inset on that dining table as well. It gives it a very kind of home-ish sort of feel. There are night privacy shades, pleated shades that you can pull down for all the windows here in the living area. Big old frosted glass window for the entry door. I just about tripped over that ottoman just now. That would have been some hilarious footage. Hopefully the camera didn't lurch around too much as I did that, because I want to make sure I don't have a concussion when I take you through the kitchen, because there's a lot of kitchen to cover over here. Sliding that little desk station in a little bit, you see the entertainment center all the way around and above has some good deep storage, all the way back to the slide face, the exterior wall, if you will. And buddy, this is a big pantry. I mean, that's a boss of a pantry right there. It's all adjustable shelving too, which is really handy, at least until you get down to these big triple drawers. And, you know, your big spatulas, you know those big utensils that like to prevent a drawer from opening sometime? That's going to be a great place for those. Little bonus sliding drawer below the oven, too. Not a space wasted. You can see, obviously, solid surface covers. I like that almost kind of motorhome-style solid surface stovetop cover there as well. Makes it some really good functional prep space. Great tall area right there, too, for, like, baking sheets for biscuits, you know, cookies, all that. Dedicated slot for wastebasket if you're so inclined. The cabinetry all pocket screwed, and again, has done pretty well. Now, again, if I subscribe to the theory of if I see something, say something, and not always just positive. Like, cool that it's got that big vent fan up there. Great that it's got all the storage. This is all, it's wonderful. Like, I see a lot of really good stuff here. I did spot one thing, well, I guess technically two things, but in one area over here. I'm not sure if something happened to these drawers, or if maybe they got hit by the slide out at some point. But this drawer face has, it needs a little work. It's not ideal. And this drawer, it opens and closes, but it feels a little gritty, like maybe the ball bearings went out. Now, I try to be fair. You know, and overall, guys, that's the worst I can find. I mean, that's pretty nitpicky. This thing's in great shape. it's in really good shape overall. I almost just tripped over that ottoman again. Why was I walking back here? Oh yeah, yeah, we want to take a look at the island. So we crack that sucker open and we can see all kinds of good drawer space and stuff around there. You know, more cabinet space. Now this is an extended living room. It's a little bit longer than you might expect. It looks on the surface a little bit more like, say, a Montana 3120 or North Point 310 RL TS that you'd find at Haylett RV. But this model is actually a little bit more similar in size to something like a 36 kpts Jayco Pinnacle that we would have. It's a super version of that, the models that I just described for Montana North Point. It's longer, it's extended. Now, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but the storage and stuff that you get, if you're thinking full timing, yeah, these are going to be, this would be a good fit for you for something like that. I like how you've got a nice handy wall controller there for those power vent fans. Now, handy coat closet right by the door, and all of our, you know, that's our converter box, and all of our switches and stuff are up out of the way. A sliding pocket privacy door, and it actually does have a little latch that you can flip down to lock. Triple drawers with a little storage slot below the countertop. Now the countertop does ride low, but it has one of those kind of high-rise bowl faucet jobs right there, or sinks as it were, not faucets, which, you know, you can sneak a little bit more counter space down and around that as a result. The shower here, a seamless one-piece molded shower with height-adjustable hardware, which is, I think, normal for this classification of fifth wheel, but it is a nice feature, of course. Porcelain foot flush stool, and let me get you right in here so the camera can adjust, because there's serious linen space going on right there. And you might have noticed too how all the cabinetry is all hidden hinged as well. Gives it a nice look. Little frosty glass door right here entering the bedroom as well. It really helps kind of with some light exchange, you know. It makes the room not look and feel so small. Now, it's easy to miss this fact, but this is an extra deep bed slide, and an easier way to see that is how big the windows are beside this big king bed. I like those the stands right in here. You know what would have been really cool, and it wouldn't be hard to maybe do potentially. I'd have to see where some of the wiring is before I go around my mouth too much. But if there was like an outlet on top of that, so you could make that a really handy CPAP shelf, that would work. But with outlets right next to it, I don't know. I think it's probably fine. Actually, I think it works pretty well right there. Naturally, she is dual air conditioning, and the front closet up here, a lot of storage going on. Let me get you inside of that. It's got a beautiful kind of aesthetic to it. It really wraps right around you like a hug from Grandma's house. And, you know, it is set for not a stackable, but a side-by-side washer and dryer. So you always have your center closet space. You can have your washer on the right-hand side here because your hookups are actually located just around the corner. And your dryer would be on the opposite side. Little bit different that way. There's a couple brands that do it that way. Some do stackable, some do side-by-side. Some clients like one way, some like the other. Some people like a left Twix, some like a right Twix. All I know is sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. Now, with this having that kind of bigger extended floor plan, it does allow them for a little bit bigger basement, and they took advantage of that. That's a massive pass-through. And the folks really took care of it. Now, you might be interested in things like those MORryde stable steps that are like default on everything now, or the LCI stable steps, either way. They just, you know, weren't in existence when this was built. The good news, right down the street at Haylett RV, we got a Pieces, Parts, and Service Center that can hook you up with all those things. And that's kind of one of the nice things about having that sister store located only 1 mile away. It doesn't matter what you need, folks. We can make it happen. Now, again, the RV, the exterior looks much younger than the model year would believe. I actually went in and I asked my manager down here, said, okay, you sent me the information on this. You said it's a 2014. Are we sure about that? He goes, yeah, here's the title. And it was. But that's what happens when you store stuff away from the weather and you clean it and condition it and maintain it. It ends up looking really great and shiny long term. And it's unfortunate how it's not super hard to do a lot of that. Now, this is a wide body product, and you can see that, like, full depth. Normally you see super deep slides like that in the living room. You can see one upstairs. And the slide awnings were added by the previous owner, really taking a lot of the additional weather exposure out of the top of those slide outs. So all kinds of cool things. And this is interesting. You've got a swinging door here and a flip-up door here, but they're symmetrical. Not necessarily better or worse than anything else, just different. And hey, I thought it was kind of cool. Enclosed docking center. Heartland was really the manufacturer that I think first made this popular, but It didn't take long for everybody to copy. And that's kind of the funny thing about RV design. It's what I call RV R&D, which doesn't mean research and develop. It usually means rip off and duplicate. And they all do it. They all borrow from one another. There is not a single brand out there that doesn't borrow ideas from somebody else and put their own spin on it. Well, back to this RV. Look at that gloss. It's gorgeous. You know, this has been really, really well maintained. What am I tripping on? I am gonna kill myself at some point today. I've just about tripped back and over like 6 different things. Apparently, there's a tree stump right here in the yard that I just about broke my neck on. So, rear wall looking just as shiny and glossy as the side wall that I just walked down. Like it's not like one side of this is left out in the sun. The whole thing looks good. And I guess if I'm going to be ultra picky, it looks like maybe that bumper needs a couple sewer end caps. Oh boy, big deal. You know, if that's the worst you got, folks, I'll walk back to parts and service and pick them up for you myself. It's just not that big a deal, I think. And I'm always a fan. I know that some people like a slide face mounted camp kitchen in a couple's rig like this. I personally just don't think you can beat the windows. I want all the windows over here. It's definitely something I look for. And you know what happens when you store an RV like this in a barn like that when it's not being used? Nothing but good stuff. It looks fantastic up here. Given the age of the RV, I don't feel you could ask it to be in better shape. From what I can discern, with a lot of experience, I'm not perfect, but I got a good eye for this. These are all the original factory seals, and they are still not chalky, not rubbing off on my finger, still pliable, viable. Absolutely fantastic. Now, previous owner put this big mega Winegard dish system up here, and you might have noticed that little Winegard traveler box below the TV in the bedroom. So this is basically dedicated straight to the bedroom right there, whereas the living room has its, you know, own variety of entertainment. And there you have it, guys. This is sharp. This is going to do somebody very well. I mean, I've showed you like there's a drawer that needs just a little bit of Looks like maybe he caught a branch here, but he was obviously on top of it, gooping it up, making sure nothing happened. It's been kept right. It's been kept right as rain, and that's just the message of the day on this one. If you're looking for a big fifth wheel to travel around, do some full timing, or if you just want to, you know, go seasonal and leave it parked somewhere, doesn't matter. We can assist you either way down here. So give us a call. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. And happy camping, everyone. Home and Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Wait, what? Oh, I'm recording.